Ladies and gentlemen, today is the 18th of April. It's both Good Friday and our Independence Day in Zimbabwe. So today we are going to talk about our 45-year-old independent nation. But before we even get into the deep roast of this independent nation, let's talk about what's happening today. The official 2025 Independence Day celebrations are underway. Or rather, trying to be. Because just like the promises of this government, the whole thing is falling apart, literally. Yesterday was the Children's Independence Day. A cute little gathering, really. The child president and his child cabinet were present. Yes, Zimbabwe actually hosts an annual event where kids simulate being in government. It's called Mahumbwe in Shona, a sort of national role-play session that's supposed to build leadership skills. Ironically, yesterday's child government event was smooth. No chaos, no scandals, no arrests. Even the sky stayed calm. It didn't rain a drop because even the heavens respect harmless games. But today is the real thing, or so we are told, because the moment the grown-up leaders tried to take the stage, God responded with the heavenly equivalent of a facepalm, relentless rain across the entire country. All the so-called celebration preparations in every province have been reduced to soaking wet misery. The worst hit the main venue, Nembudzia in Gokwe. The government spent millions building a brand new stadium there. Yes, millions. But in true ZANU-PF fashion, they didn't bother involving consulting engineers. Why would they? It's not like structural integrity is important when you are building a venue for national events, right? The result? A waterlogged disaster of a stadium with no drainage system. Just a muddy monument to arrogance and corruption. It's less a stadium and more of a swamp with flags. Delegates were buzzed in from as far away as Mozambique because, of course, ordinary Zimbabweans who actually live in this country want nothing to do with this circus. The poor souls were headed like livestock into this soggy mess, sliding through mud, dodging puddles and enduring the punishment, all for the $10 reward they will get at the end. A whole day of soaking, enforced ululations, all for the equivalent of 2 loaves of bread and a packet of airtime. The people didn't bring the rain. God did. A divine cleansing of this farce. A loud, wet, muddy no to this play government. Because, let's face it, Mnangagwa's regime is just one big Mahumbwe. And now, let's begin the real independence commentary. 45. 45. Not days, not weeks, not even months. 45 entire sun-baked, inflation-ravaged, coup-scented years of independence. The kind of independence where you are technically free but can't buy a loaf of bread without taking out a small loan. The kind of freedom where you can say what you want until you actually say it. And the kind of national celebration that feels more like commemorating the death of your hopes rather than the birth of a country. Yes, folks, welcome to another glorious year of performing independence, while poverty, repression, and corruption do the actual governing. Let's not beat about the bush. Unless it's a ZANU-PF donation in some rural ward just before an election, Zimbabwe at 45 is like an old war veteran wearing worn-out medals, staggering around the village drunk on the nostalgia of a victory that nobody can taste anymore. Every April 18, they wheel out the same recycled speeches, copy-paste the same hollow slogans and expect people to ululate like it's 1980 all over again. But it's not. It's 2025. There's no food in the shops, no electricity in the sockets, no water in the taps, and no hope in the hearts. But hey, happy Independence Day. Remember 1980? Black and white TV, Bob Marley performing, the flag going up and dreams rising with it. The mood was electric. The streets were alive. There was a belief, a fire, a collective national sigh of relief. Rhodesia was dead. Zimbabwe was born. Cue the national anthem. Ishe komborerai Africa. Nkosi sikelelai Africa. God bless Africa. Cue the land redistribution talks. Cue the unity speeches. Everyone was on the same page until the ink dried and the chefs started reading from a different book altogether. The book titled How to Loot a Country Without Really Trying. They promised land to the people. What they didn't say is which people. Turns out it was to themselves, their cousins, their girlfriends, their bodyguards, and a few lucky gods. And then, when things went south, they pulled out the classic patriotic excuse. It's the sanctions. Yes, sanctions. The universal ZANU-PF excuse for everything from potholes to puberty. The reason why the economy collapsed, not because they looted every cent, but because a diplomat in Brussels refused to shake someone's hand. Magical sanctions capable of making hospitals run out of painkillers and making school children learn under trees while ministers fly to Dubai for their dental appointments. And the economy? Oh, please. If Zimbabwe's economy was a student, it would have been expelled for failing too many times. We have changed currencies more often than we have changed presidents. We have introduced bond notes, RTGS, gold coins, gods for rent, you name it. Now we have the ZIG, which is being used to loot all the US reserves left. Our economy is like a magician's hat, full of tricks but no rabbits. They say inflation is down, but when you walk into the supermarket, your groceries say otherwise. Imagine spending $10 million and walking out with just bread, milk, and depression. Zimbabweans went through that kind of independence. The only thing that's kept up with inflation is the government's ability to lie about it. Electricity, a luxury. Water, a gamble. Internet, monitored. Jobs, please. We don't do employment here. We hustle. We grind. We sell tomatoes on the street while being chased by municipal officers who themselves are probably selling tomatoes on the side. A generation raised on education is the key to success now sits in the diaspora, wiping old people in London, making Uber deliveries in Cape Town, or teaching in Malawi, because at home, PhDs means poor, hungry, and desperate, unless you are politically connected. Our youth, God bless them, are now experts in converting WhatsApp bundles into GDP. The entrepreneurial spirit is strong, mainly because survival is now an extreme sport, and the state, instead of helping them build something, criminalizes them. If you protest, you are arrested. If you tweet, you are watched. If you whistle in the wrong tone, you are a national security threat. Yes, in Zimbabwe, even sound is treason. Elections, don't even bother. Every 5 years we stage the same tired puppet show. You vote, they rig, and then they send you a thank you SMS for participating in your own political mugging. Sometimes they even give you a free t-shirt just so you can wear your betrayal on your chest. And the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission? It's not an institution. It's an accessory to the crime. And no, They won't apologize. They will just ask you if you have an affidavit proving that you exist. The press under siege. Civil society branded as regime change agents. Opposition either bought, banned, or building their own internal coups. And the judiciary, well, if Lady Justice were in Zimbabwe, should be blindfolded, gagged, and buried under the Chief Justice Mercedes-Benz. The only thing more predictable than a ZANU-PF victory is a bail denial for anyone who dares challenge it. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, here comes the independence speech, a fully scripted, uninspired sermon delivered by a president so out of touch he probably thinks Twitter is a type of mosquito. He will talk about unity, peace, development, and probably mention the rains in Mashonaland as a sign of God's approval. He won't mention the ghost workers on the payroll, the billions lost on cartels, or the armed thugs occupying land under the guise of empowerment. He won't speak of Blessed Mhlanga rotting in jail for doing journalism. He won't speak of Tatenda Pinjis dying in a hospital that had no painkillers, only slogans. He definitely won't speak of how his family now owns Mbare Msika, or how Zupco buses are missing, roads are being tarred for elections only, or why the only new buildings going up are gold smuggling empires. No, he would thank the war vets, scold the West, and maybe dance awkwardly with school children who were buzzed in for optics, all while pretending this is just a badly written sequel to 1980, now on its 45th anniversary screening. And what about our beloved opposition? Some are in the feeding trough, others are trying. Chamisa still has hope, still commands love, and still gives people a reason to believe. But belief on its own does not deliver. Geza, missing. Nyoka Mabunu, allegedly hunted by state agents and allegedly still in a prison cell. The activists scattered. The nation numb. The real question is, how long can we keep clapping for speeches while the walls around us are burning? So yes, Zimbabwe is 45. But don't pop the champagne. It's not a celebration. It's an autopsy. The dream of 1980 is lying in a coffin, lined with greenbacks, wearing a scarf of shame and guarded by CIO agents with itchy trigger fingers. We should be angry. We should be mourning. But most of all, we should be organizing, because 45 years of looting, lying, and lawlessness is not independence. It's a prison with a national anthem. And before they say, but we have made progress, ask them, where is it? In the potholes, in the broken hospitals, in the ministers' imported suits while teachers eat boiled water. Independence wasn't supposed to look like this. We were promised dignity, we got dictatorship. We were promised land, we got land barons. We were promised equality, we got elite kleptocracy. So this 18 April, don't wave your flag too hard. You might tear it. Don't sing the anthem too loud. You might wake up the CIO. And don't go to the stadium unless you are being paid. Zimbabwe is 45, but mentally we are stuck in 1984, complete with state surveillance, propaganda, and an Orwellian president who smiles while pressing the boot deeper on your neck. We vote with our feet, mostly by walking to the border. The ballots are just receipts for a democracy that doesn't exist. We have opposition parties that split faster than combis at a roadblock. MPs who sell out for land in Westgate, and independent institutions that couldn't even independently boil an egg. Meanwhile, state media tells us everything is fine, that we are open for business. Yes, they are right. Zimbabwe is open for business, for looting, for exploitation, for Chinese mining deals that destroy entire communities. Our rivers are poisoned, our forests are gone, our wildlife is hunted, and our justice system is a queue. You get what you pay for. The only thing that's abundant in this country is excuses. And let's not forget the first family. The Mnangagwa dynasty is now a well-oiled machine of extraction. Auxilia runs the social programs like it's a royal tour. 60 million spent on Mfushwa and Nodo, while Salim Gabe Hospital doesn't even have painkillers. The sons are busy buying buildings and markets. The daughters are allegedly advisors to ministries. It's not a president's. It's a family business. And you are just the unpaid intern funding it all. So no, we will not clap for this. We will not sing for our chains. We will not ululate while the national cake is eaten by the same 5 people over and over. 45 years later, and we are still asking, where did it all go wrong? The answer is simple. It went wrong the moment we let liberation turn into entitlement. The moment comrades became kings. The moment national duty became personal profit. Going to the war of liberation should not entitle anyone, not Mnangagwa, not ZANU-PF, not anyone, to think that they are better than anyone else in Zimbabwe. We all fought this liberation. If people had not supported the war, ZANU-PF would not have won the war. The war was won by the people of Zimbabwe. So stop calling yourself the Liberation Party, the Revolution Party. The revolution was not for a party. The revolution was a national revolution. It was for the people, not for any party. Zimbabweans are the revolutionary people. And continue doing what you are doing, and Zimbabweans will show you what a revolution they are. Zimbabwe at 45 is not a celebration. It's a cautionary tale. A reminder that freedom is not permanent, that revolutions can be hijacked, that the oppressor does not always wear a colonial uniform. Sometimes he wears a scarf and smiles at you while robbing you blind. So if you are tired of Mahumbwe governments, rainy stadiums, and muddy lies, hit that subscribe button on Zimwaves TV. We roast the nonsense, expose the spin, and remind you that independence was not supposed to be a joke. The fight isn't over. It's just begun. Happy Independence, Zimbabwe.
Nyika yedu yaparadzwa nemakoronyerezano. Nyika yedu iri kutongwa nenhubu dzezano. Vana kushikorora ngova damberega rega mafekitari yakafara kare kare. Imi mwari baba ndimi makati munozivavo konamo yeZimbabwe ichapera rini mambo tamirira taneta tichafara rini mambo tatarisa nguva dzese uchauya rini mugove patinoti titaure tinoudzwa zvekuhondo kuti tikosore tinoswera tave musheri. ZANU haina tsitsi nevana veZimbabwe, vatana nevarwere vakatokanganikwa kare. Imi mwari baba ndimi makati munozivavo konamo yeZimbabwe ichapera rini mambo tamirira taneta tichafara rini mambo tatarisa nguva dzese uchauya rini mugove. Pakavava Mugabe vakatobviswa negidi, pakauya Mnangagwa akatopinda zveginya naiyewo anoda kufira pachigaro. Imi mwari baba ndimi makati munozivako konyamo yeZimbabwe ichapera rini mambo tamirira taneta tichafara rini mambo tatarisa nguva dzese uchauya rini mugove. Nyika yaparadzwa nemazano. Nyika nyumba yedu inopisa kudarika gena makoronyera ezanu yationesa chimoto mwariburuka imuite kuda kwenyu imi mwari baba ndimi makati munozi vako konyamo yeZimbabwe ichaperari ni mambo tamirira taneta tichafarari ni mambo tatari sangu watese uchauyari ni mugove imi mwari baba ndimi makati munozi vako konyamo yeZimbabwe ichaperari ni mambo tamirira taneta tichafarari ni mambo tatari sangu watese uchauyari ni mugove